Hey guys, it's Steve with Montana Musings Outdoor Channel, and it's time for episode 17 of the 6.8 Western Full Auto podcast. So today, just wanted to talk a little bit about what I've been doing with hand loading. And if you've seen my videos, we took this little baby out to 980 yards, and um, we tried this stuff, and this particular gun doesn't shoot this stuff that well. Um, I think I grouped it. It was like an inch and a half. So we were shooting 980 yards. And as you know, just a regular sheet of copy paper is what, 8.5 by 11, I think. And so our target was just a little tiny bit bigger than that. It was 10 by 12. But so that stuff didn't, you think about it, you got a plate this big, and this stuff is shooting groups that at 1,000 yards are this big. And even with no wind, your percentage of impacts are probably not going to be that great. But so we didn't hit it. We were really, really close, dancing all around it. I think we may have hit the hanger, which is like right at the top of the plate, a couple times. And so it was there. And then we shot those silver tips, those Browning silver tips, and they shoot. Oh, I think they're about an inch and a quarter, a little over an inch out of this gun, and which kind of surprised me. But and we did. I was out there with Grant, and we did. Each of us hit the plate at a 980 yards with that stuff. Um, so anyway, that was kind of fun to do, and it's matter of fact, I'm just going to put a clip in right here, just to kind of give you see what we did. So there you go. I should hold top plate, I think. Should get as close. Impact. Ding. So that was it's great when you're my age and you can do something that still makes you feel like a kid. So it was fun. It was, and we shot that thing. Well, I shot 11 rounds of the 175s, and then it took me, I think it was one, two, three more shots with the 170s. And I mean, this thing has not much recoil, so it's just a pleasure to shoot. I was able to stay in the glass pretty good and actually see my impacts. For shooting something that's, kind of a low end Magnum cartridge, it's just it's just fantastic to shoot. And all of you guys that are 6A Western lovers, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So, but yeah, it was fun. And I've also been doing some reloading. I have my Barnes 155s all ready to go for bear hunting season, and they had 66.8 grains of Mag Pro in them, and they were going 3,057 feet per second. So I just loaded up some more with 67 grains even in it, and so I don't know what I'll get. I'll have to test those out too, which probably do next week sometime. So just to see if I gained much velocity and to see if I'm starting to hit pressure, because the other stuff was okay. So, and I think that max load for that data that I found was 67.2. So, I'm hoping we're okay and we can get up to 3,070, 75, something like that, maybe. But, and then I had loaded some 165 ABLRs, and it had 65.3 grains of Mag Pro, and I think those were going 2962 if I remember right. And so I decided to load up some more, and I loaded them up with 66.5 and 66.7, So just in 2/10 of a grain increments up. And I'm going to run those out and test them next week too. So I don't know if I'll have time to do it this weekend, but sometime next week after work, I'll run out and do that. But um, and yes, I'm still working. So, um, but I don't plan on retiring anytime soon. I don't think so. But as long as I have fun, time to do this, we're good. But so it'd be interesting to see if I can get these 165s close to 3,000 feet per second. We'll see. It should. It should. So that'll be interesting. And both of those 155s and these are probably going to be my two favorite hunting rounds. And we'll just see how it goes because these should perform well out at distance just because of the bullet design. So even if I had to, not that I would want to, but if a 600-yard shot presented and I don't have any other choice of getting closer, I think this one would be awesome for that. So, because it's going to work good at a little bit lower velocities than the copper ones will. So, but so that's kind of what I've been doing for hand loading. I speaking of hand loading, I have a PRS match coming up the 26th of July. So I did do a bunch of hand loading for my 6 arc, and we'll probably, I don't need to test those. They're kind of pretty much the same. So around 2670. So my dope should be easy to figure out, and I know that stuff was shooting, sub MOA easy. So that stuff will be ready to crank out on my 6 arc, and that is my second favorite rifle. That's a fun thing to shoot. So um, yeah, I was just I haven't even watched the whole thing yet, but Hornady just put out in their podcast cartridges that were designed for the AR, but work really good in a bolt gun, and 6 arc is one of them for sure. So that's it's just like I say, it makes it my second favorite gun. I love that thing. So, but anyway, and I'm running 105 Barnes with I use Lever Evolution powder and should be running about 2670 with that stuff. Like I said, so ready to go. But one other thing I did do earlier today, I called up Seekins just to find out if there may be a chance that 6.8 Western will make a comeback there, but they haven't really even rolled out the 277 Fury yet. They are not a very big company, and they have such a good reputation that they just get swamped. And of course, I imagine they've got 6.5 PRCs and 7 PRCs and that kind of stuff that is right or wrong, more popular than the 6.8 Western. So they're probably cranking that stuff out as fast as they can, and they're planning on rolling out that 277 Fury in the near future. They're about ready to go with it. She said, I talked to a gal named Sarah she wasn't just somebody there answering the phone so she could direct you to somebody else. She knew what she was talking about. She was good. So I had a really good visit with her, and when I was watching X-Ring, he just did a review on the PH3 and kind of went through how you can do the barrel swap and the bolt head swap and how easy Seekins is making it to do it. And it's just a fantastic idea. So if you did want to get the PH3 and you were wanting to get one of these other calibers, but all you'd have to do is have your local gunsmith or somebody or order one. I have one. It's MMI Gunworks in Kalispell, and they could probably easily spin me up a barrel in 6.8 Western, a custom barrel, and slap in that thing because it's a 700 footprint. So how easy is that? So that would be pretty dang awesome. And she did say that they aren't doing it yet, but they will be able to sell the bolt face and the stock and some other things separately in the future. but they aren't there yet. They're pretty much using everything they got for their builds that they're doing. So, but just so you know that is an option down the road if in fact you end up having to get a PH3, you can still have that thing, have a barrel spun up for 6.8 Western and be able to shoot the God's round out of it. So, it's all good. And so right now, if you can, if that's something, you should probably talk to your gunsmith, because all the information she said is readily available for all your gunsmiths to be able to do whatever they need for that barrel, to make that barrel. So that would work in their guns. So that information is public or readily available to your gunsmith. So I thought that was pretty cool too. So trying to think if there's something else. Anyway, I'm on the website here looking at the PH3, and they have well, of course mine has a 90-degree throw. Now it's a 60-degree throw with a 3-lug design. So there are some differences. They've tried to change things up to kind of go with the flow, I guess, a little more. But to be honest, it's the 90-degree throw is so smooth that I don't really mind it. I don't have any problems having it, interfere with the scope or that kind of thing. Anyway, so I was kind of used to I had that Winchester XPR and my 6.5 PRC and the 6.8 Western before I sent that back, and those have a 60-degree throw, which was nice, but it's not quite as smooth. And I don't know if that is just inherently the way 60-degree throws are. They're just not as smooth. There's a little more tension there. So, it's whatever you like, whatever you got, I guess. So if you end up getting the PH3, you're going to have something with the 60-degree throw. So just so you know that too. But, and I don't know, I haven't really, since I have a Seekins, that's why I contacted them. I haven't contacted Fierce or others that are, making 6.8 Western. But it's, she even happened to mention that some calibers, they kind of have a big boom and then they die off, and some of them die off for good and some of them don't. And she even said the 6.8 Westerns kind of sounds like that's one of them that's making a comeback. And I think it's because of the 6.8 Western Army and this channel. So anyway, that was good to hear, even though they'll probably never get back to doing that. They're just giving you the option to, have your own made. So, and making it real simple so you can do it in your garage if you had to, from the sounds of it. So, yeah, I've got, what else here? I've got the next podcast. I am lining up Trina Bradley, who is on the governor's board, whatever that board is for bear management and stuff like that. And so she's a rancher over by DePuyer, which is kind of been over in that area where in April, there was that guy who shot and killed that grizzly while he was shed hunting. So it's in that same area. So they've been dealing with bears for a long time. And so that's kind of how she ended up getting on there. So we're going to have hopefully a really good discussion on the Fish, Wildlife, and Parks management plan and what they're going to do once the grizzly does become delisted, which it should happen. Like I said in another video, if you go check out Mark Livesey and at Peaks Equipment podcast, I think it's called, or The Thrive or something like that. You guys, if you've watched it, you've probably seen it. But some of the things they talk about with the management, under federal management, it's just a crazy nightmare that we're having to live with. So it just makes me wonder how many brain cells these people have in their heads. So anyway, but if you check those guys out, and there was another guy from, I can't think of his name, from Eastman's. He did a couple of videos. He does a series of videos on wildlife management in Montana. It's really good. So check him out. He's a spokesman for Eastman, and he does those videos. And he used to work for I think Fish, Wildlife, and Parks when he was younger. So anyway, so he has a lot of knowledge, and those things are, to me, they're very interesting because you need to know what you're up against. Because if they do ever have comment periods for the public and stuff like, you should be informed so that you can make contributions to their comment sections, or even go to meetings and stuff like that when they're in the area. So, because we do need to do whatever we can to it get the grizzly delisted and get under the state management system, because I think it'll be much better for us. So anyway, let's see, what else do I got? I think that's getting close to the end of her, but yep, one more look at that old Seekins. That's and I got that Monstrum scope on there, and it really actually works pretty good. I haven't had any issues with it. But Grant, when he got done shooting, I had to text him later on because I forgot to ask him. I said, "What? How are your eyes feeling after looking through that cheap scope?" And he said they're still burning. So, because I think he has Night First, the NX8 or something like that. But yeah, but it worked out to 980 yards. I could see what I was doing. So, and there was some mirage, and I think the better glass probably helps mitigate some of the mirage effect, which makes sense. I mean, why you got to have a reason to pay that much money for them? So, but anyway, someday I will be replacing that and putting this on a 22 or something. So, but hey, that's what I got for you in this podcast, guys. Episode number 17. Please, share this with your friends, especially the 6'8 Western Army. Get it out there to people so that my channel can grow. We can grow the Army. We can hopefully get more support for the 6'8 Western. And the only way we're going to do that is by having more numbers and more voices out there asking for it. So anyway, I would ask you to subscribe and do all of those things. So, but thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next video, and we'll talk about grizzly bears. So see you later. This is episode 17, The End.